Please, Olivia, do not call the police. Mom begs outside my apartment building. Jessica has nowhere to go. You cannot just throw her out on the street. I am holding my phone with 911 already dialed. You broke into my apartment. You moved her in without my permission. You gave her a key you made by copying mine without asking. I am your mother. I was helping your sister. Family helps family. Family asks permission. Family respects boundaries. Family does not break into apartments and change the locks on the people who actually pay rent here. Change the locks? What do you mean? I mean, I called my landlord the second I found Jessica in my living room. He changed every lock in my apartment an hour ago. Your copied key does not work anymore. And if you do not leave in 60 seconds, I am pressing send on this call. Olivia, please. 55 seconds. But let me back up. Let me tell you about the day I came home to find my sister living in my apartment, and how my mother thought she could steal my space the way she had stolen everything else. I moved out of my mother's house the day I turned 22. I had been planning it for years, saving every penny from my job as a graphic designer, researching apartments, counting down the days until I could finally have my own space, my own life, my own rules. My mother, Patricia, was a controlling woman who believed that being a parent meant having unlimited access to your children's lives forever. She went through my room regularly when I lived at home, read my journals, checked my phone, showed up at my workplace unannounced, called me 10 times a day demanding to know where I was and what I was doing. I am your mother, she would say whenever I protested. I have a right to know everything about your life. No, she did not. But when you live under someone's roof, you do not have many options. My younger sister, Jessica, was 24 and still living at home. She had never held a job for more than a few months. She dropped out of college after one semester. She spent her days sleeping until noon and her nights going out with friends, all funded by mom. Jessica was the golden child, the baby, the one mom coddled and protected and enabled. I was the responsible one, which meant I was expected to handle everything on my own while Jessica got everything handed to her. You are so independent, mom would say, like it was a compliment. You do not need help like Jessica does. What she meant was, I am going to invest all my time and money in Jessica because you will figure things out yourself. So I did figure things out. I got a good job. I saved money. And the day I found an affordable one-bedroom apartment in a safe neighborhood, I signed the lease without telling anyone. I moved out on a Saturday while mom was at work, packed my things, hired movers, cleaned my room, left a note on the kitchen counter. I moved out. I will call you later. Love, Olivia. Mom called me 17 times before I answered. How could you do this? How could you move out without telling me? I am 22. I have a job. I can afford my own place. But I am your mother. You should have discussed this with me. What if something happens? What if you cannot afford rent? What if you get hurt and I do not know where you are? Then I will figure it out. Like I have been figuring everything out my whole life. You are being selfish. You are abandoning your family. I am moving 10 miles away, Mom. I am not abandoning anyone, but she did not see it that way. To her, my independence was a personal attack, a rejection, a betrayal. The first few months in my apartment were heaven. My own space, my own schedule, no one going through my things, no one demanding explanations for where I had been or who I had been with. I decorated exactly how I wanted. I had friends over without permission. I stayed out late without phone calls demanding I come home. I was living like a normal adult for the first time in my life. Mom tried to visit constantly, showed up unannounced. I started not answering the door. She would call and ask for a spare key in case of emergency. I refused. What if there is a fire? What if you get hurt and I need to get in? You can call 911 like everyone else. You are being ridiculous. I am your mother. And this is my apartment, my space. You do not get automatic access. She was angry about it, but she stopped asking. Or so I thought. I should have known she would find another way. It happened on a Tuesday in March. I had been living in my apartment for 8 months. Life was good. Work was going well. I was dating someone casually. I had built a life that was mine. I came home from work around 6 p.m., tired from a long day of client meetings. I walked into my apartment and froze. Someone was cooking in my kitchen. I could smell food, hear someone moving around. My heart started pounding. Someone had broken in. Someone was in my apartment. I grabbed my phone, ready to run back out and call 911. Then I heard her voice. Oh good, you are home. I made spaghetti. There is enough for both of us. Jessica. My sister Jessica was in my kitchen cooking dinner, like she lived here. What are you doing in my apartment? I demanded. Walking into the kitchen, she was wearing pajamas. Her hair was in a messy bun. She looked completely comfortable, like she belonged there. Mom did not tell you? She stirred the pot of pasta. I am staying here for a while. Staying here? What do you mean staying here? I moved in this morning. Did not Mom call you? I checked my phone. No missed calls. No messages. No, she did not call me. Because you are not moving in. This is my apartment. Jessica rolled her eyes. Do not be dramatic. It is just temporary. A month or two until I figure things out. Figure what out? Mom and I got into a fight. I needed space. She suggested I stay here with you. My blood went cold. She suggested, without asking me. Well, yeah, you are my sister. Of course you would help me. How did you get in? Mom gave me a key. I did not give Mom a key. She had one made. From yours, I guess. She used it to let me in this morning. The movers brought my stuff while you were at work. I walked into my living room. There were boxes everywhere, suitcases, bags of clothes. My apartment, my carefully organized, peaceful apartment, looked like a storage unit. Get out, I said. What? Get out, now. Take your things and leave. Olivia, do not be ridiculous. Where am I supposed to go? I do not care. This is my apartment. I did not agree to this. You cannot just move in without my permission. But Mom said. Mom does not live here. She does not pay my rent. She has no right to give you a key or let you in or move you in. Jessica looked genuinely confused, like she could not understand why I was upset. But you have a one-bedroom. There's room. I will sleep on the couch. It is not a big deal. It is a huge deal. This is my space, my home. You cannot just take it over. I am not taking it over. I am just staying here temporarily. God, you are so selfish. No wonder Mom says you have changed since you moved out. Mom says I have changed? Yeah, she says you have become cold and distant, that you do not care about family anymore. I did not believe her, but I guess she was right. I was shaking with rage. Call Mom. Tell her to come get you and your stuff. You have 2 hours before I call the landlord and report a trespassing. You would not. Try me. Jessica pulled out her phone and called Mom. I heard her side of the conversation. Olivia is freaking out. She wants me to leave. She is threatening to call the landlord. I do not know. She is being crazy. Then Mom was on speakerphone. Olivia, stop being dramatic. Jessica needs a place to stay. You have room. This is what family does. This is what family does after asking permission and getting agreement. You do not break into someone's apartment and move someone in. I did not break in. I had a key. You do not have a key. I never gave you one. I made a copy. Last time you came to visit, I took your keys while you were in the bathroom and made copies at the hardware store. I knew I would need them eventually for emergencies. My hands went numb. You stole my keys and copied them without my permission. I did not steal them. I borrowed them for 20 minutes. And it is a good thing I did, because now Jessica has a safe place to stay. She has a safe place to stay, your house, where she has been living for 24 years. We need space from each other. You have a spare couch. This is not a big ask, Olivia. Yes, it is. You broke into my apartment. I used a key. That is not breaking in. Using a key you made without my permission to enter property you do not own absolutely is breaking in. It is illegal. You are being melodramatic. Jessica will stay there for a few weeks. You will barely notice her. No, she is leaving today. And if you ever use that key again, I am calling the police. You would call the police on your own mother? Over a key? Over breaking and entering? Over invasion of privacy? Over completely violating my boundaries? Yes. You have become such a cold person. I do not even recognize you anymore. Good. Then maybe you will stop trying to control me. I hung up. Jessica was staring at me. You really are not going to let me stay? No, get your things and leave. Fine, but you are going to regret this. When Mom and I tell everyone what you did, they are going to think you are horrible. I do not care what people think. This is my apartment. Get out. She called someone, probably a friend, and waited outside while they came to pick her up. It took 3 hours to get all her things out. I watched every box leave, making sure nothing was left behind. When the last box was gone and Jessica had left with a friend, I sat in my apartment and cried. Not because I felt guilty, because I was violated. My mother had stolen my keys, copied them, and invaded my home. My sister had moved in without asking and acted like I was the unreasonable one. My safe space, the space I had worked so hard to create, had been violated. And I knew this was not over. I called my landlord that night. Mr. Henderson was an older man who had always been fair with me. I need to report a break-in, I said. My mother made unauthorized copies of my apartment key and let my sister move in without my permission while I was at work. Is your sister still there? No, I made her leave. But my mother has copies of my keys. I need the locks changed immediately. I can have that done tomorrow morning. You will need to pay for the lock change though. $50 per lock. I will pay it. I also need to know, can I press charges for the unauthorized key copying? That is more complicated. Technically, she had access to your keys, even if she did not have permission to copy them. Whether that is theft or not would be up to the police. But I can tell you that I will be sending your mother a cease and desist letter. If she tries to enter the property again without your permission, that is trespassing, and I will press charges. Thank you. Miss Rivera, I rent to a lot of young people, and I see a lot of parents who do not understand boundaries. Your mother crossed a line. You did the right thing by calling me. The locks were changed the next morning. New deadbolt, new regular lock, new keys. I kept one copy and put the other in my desk at work. No one was getting access to my apartment again, but the fallout had just begun. Mom called me 20 times that day. I did not answer. She left voicemails progressing from angry to manipulative to victimized. How dare you throw your sister out on the street? After everything I have done for you, this is how you treat me. Everyone is going to hear about this. Everyone is going to know what kind of person you really are. You are breaking my heart. I am your mother and you treat me like a criminal. I saved every voicemail. Documentation, just in case. Then the calls from relatives started. Aunt Marie, Uncle Tom, cousins I barely knew, all saying the same things. How could you do this to Jessica? She needed help. Family is supposed to help family. You are being selfish. Mom is devastated. I told everyone the same thing. She broke into my apartment and moved Jessica in without asking. That is illegal. I am protecting my space. Most people did not care. They heard homeless sister and refusing to help and decided I was the villain. Fine, let them think what they wanted. Jessica posted on social media about being kicked out by her sister, about how I had refused to help family in need, about how hurt she was. The post got hundreds of sympathetic comments. My phone blew up with messages from old high school friends calling me heartless. I did not respond to any of them. I just screenshotted everything. More documentation. Then Mom escalated. She showed up at my apartment building. I saw her through the window, standing outside the entrance. She was trying her copied key. It did not work. She tried again. Still nothing. She called me. I answered on speakerphone. Why did you change the locks? Because you broke into my apartment. You do not get access to my home. I am your mother. What if there is an emergency? Then you call 911, like everyone else in the world. This is ridiculous. Let me in. We need to talk. No. Olivia, I am standing outside your building. Let me in right now. No, and if you do not leave, I am calling the police. You would really call the police on your own mother? Yes. You are trespassing. I am trying to talk to my daughter. You are harassing me. Leave now or I call the cops. She stood there for another 5 minutes. Then she left, but I knew she would be back. Over the next month, I fortified my boundaries. I blocked Mom and Jessica on my phone. I blocked them on social media. I told my job receptionist that under no circumstances was my mother to be let in the building or given information about my schedule. I installed a Ring doorbell camera on my apartment door. I checked with Mr. Henderson first and he approved. Now I could see who was at my door before they knocked. Mom showed up 3 more times. Each time, I did not answer. Each time, she tried her old key. Each time, it did not work. Each time, she eventually left. I stopped going to family gatherings. Mom would be there, Jessica would be there, and I was done being the villain in their narrative. Instead, I focused on my life, my real life, the one I was building without them. Work was going incredibly well. I got a promotion, senior graphic designer with a significant raise. I moved to a better apartment, A 2-bedroom in a building with actual security. A doorman who would not let random people in. A place where I felt truly safe. I started therapy. Dr. Sarah Chen specialized in family trauma and boundary issues. What your mother did was not just boundary crossing, she said in our first session. It was a violation. She stole your keys, made unauthorized copies, and committed breaking and entering. That is criminal behavior. She says she did it because she cares. Because family helps family. Caring does not mean violating someone's autonomy. Helping does not mean forcing your way into someone's home. What she did was about control, not care. My whole family thinks I am the bad guy. Of course they do. Because accepting that you were right means accepting that your mother did something wrong. It is easier to blame you than to hold her accountable. Therapy helped me understand I was not crazy. I was not overreacting. My mother had violated my space and my trust in a fundamental way, and I had every right to protect myself. 6 months after the apartment incident, I met someone. His name was Marcus. He worked as a software engineer, and he actually understood the concept of boundaries. My mom tried to move into my first apartment without asking. He told me on our 3rd date, showed up with suitcases while I was at work. I had to call the police to get her to leave. What did you do? I cut her off for 2 years. No contact. She finally got therapy and learned that she could not control my life. We have a relationship now, but it is on my terms. Strict boundaries. Consequences if she violates them. Do you regret cutting her off? No, it was the only thing that worked. Some people do not learn unless you show them you are serious. I told him about my situation, about the copied keys and Jessica moving in and the family fallout. He did not blink. You did exactly right, he said. Your mom committed a crime. She is lucky you did not press charges. It felt good to be with someone who understood, who did not think I was overreacting or being cruel, who saw the situation for what it was. Life got better. My career flourished. My relationship with Marcus grew serious. I had friends who respected me. I was building something real. And then, 1 year after the apartment incident, I got a call from Mr. Henderson, my old landlord. Miss Rivera, I thought you should know. Your mother came by the property yesterday asking for your new address. My blood ran cold. What did you tell her? Nothing. I told her I could not give out tenant information, but she was persistent. She said she needed to reach you about a family emergency. There is no emergency. She is just trying to find me. I figured. I wanted to give you a heads up. She might try other ways to track you down. Thank you for not giving her my address. Of course, privacy is important. I hung up and sat in my new apartment, feeling the violation all over again. She was still trying to find me, still trying to invade my space, still refusing to respect my boundaries. I called my building's front desk. My mother is not allowed in this building under any circumstances. Her name is Patricia Rivera. If she shows up, do not let her in. Do not give her any information. Call me immediately. Understood, Miss Rivera. I thought that would be enough. I was wrong. 2 months after Mom tried to get my new address, Jessica found me on LinkedIn. She sent a message. I know you do not want to talk to Mom, but can we talk? I need to apologize. I stared at the message. Part of me wanted to ignore it. Part of me was curious. I responded, what do you want to apologize for? For everything. For moving into your apartment without asking. For not understanding why you were upset. For taking Mom's side. I get it now. Can we meet for coffee? Against my better judgment, I agreed. We met at a neutral coffee shop. Jessica looked different. Older, more tired. Like life had caught up with her. Thank you for meeting me, she said when I sat down. What do you want, Jessica? I really do want to apologize. What I did was wrong. Moving into your apartment without asking. Acting like you were the problem. I should have understood. What changed? She looked down at her coffee. Mom did the same thing to me. I finally got my own apartment 3 months ago. Last week, I came home and found her in my living room. She had made copies of my keys and was going through my things. When I confronted her, she said she had a right to know what was going on in my life, that I was her daughter and she deserved access. What did you do? I freaked out, told her to leave, changed my locks, and now she is not speaking to me. She tells everyone I am ungrateful, that I am just like you, cold and distant. Welcome to the club. I am sorry, Olivia. I should have believed you. I should have stood up for you. I should have understood that what Mom did was wrong. I wanted to be angry, to tell her it was too late. But looking at her, I saw someone who had finally understood. Thank you for apologizing, I said. Is there any way we can have a relationship? I know I do not deserve it, but I miss my sister. Maybe. But it has to be on my terms. No information about me goes to mom. No telling her where I live or where I work. No surprise visits. No drama. I can do that. I promise. We talked for another hour. She told me about finally getting a job, finally moving out, finally realizing that mom's behavior was not normal, that the way we were raised, with no privacy, no autonomy, no boundaries, was dysfunctional. It felt good to have an ally, someone who understood. Over the next few months, Jessica and I rebuilt our relationship slowly. Coffee dates, text messages, careful trust. And then she told me something that changed everything. Mom is planning something, Jessica said during one of our coffee meetings. She has been asking me questions about you, where you work now, what your schedule is like. She is trying to get information. What did you tell her? Nothing, but she is persistent. I think she is trying to find a way to contact you, to force a confrontation. Why? It has been almost 2 years, because you are getting married. She saw it on Facebook. I had posted about my engagement to Marcus. I had made the post public by accident. Usually I kept everything private, but one post, one mistake, and now mom knew. She says she has a right to be at her daughter's wedding, Jessica continued. She is telling everyone you are excluding her out of spite. She is painting herself as the victim mother who just wants to celebrate her daughter's happiness. I do not want her at my wedding. I know, but she is going to try. She is going to show up or make a scene or find some way to insert herself. What should I do? Hire security. Give them her photo. Make sure she cannot get anywhere near the venue. It sounded extreme, but I knew my mother. She would absolutely show up uninvited and try to make the day about her. I told Marcus about the situation that night. We are hiring security, he said immediately. No question. Your mom is not ruining our wedding. We hired the security guards for the wedding, gave them photos of mom and explicit instructions. She was not allowed anywhere near the venue. If she showed up, they were to escort her off the property and call the police if necessary. I felt safer, but I also felt sad. I was getting married and had to hire security to keep my own mother away. That was what it had come to. The week before the wedding, mom made her move. She called my work. The receptionist had standing instructions about her, so the call did not get through to me. But mom left a message. Tell Olivia her mother called. Tell her I need to speak to her about the wedding. Tell her I am being excluded from the most important day of her life and I just want to talk. Please, I am begging. Just 5 minutes. The receptionist called me. Your mother called. She sounded upset. She left a message about a wedding? Yes, I am getting married and she is not invited. Do not give her any information if she calls again. Understood. But mom did not give up. She showed up at my old apartment building, the one I had not lived in for over a year. She somehow found my old roommate's number and called her, begging for my new address. My old roommate texted me, "Your mom just called me crying, asking for your address." I did not give it to her, but she is really insistent. What is going on? I explained briefly. My old roommate was horrified. She sounds unhinged. I will block her number. Good luck with the wedding. 3 days before the wedding, mom found Jessica's apartment again. She showed up at the door crying. Jessica called me immediately. Mom is here. She is begging me to give her information about your wedding. Where it is. What time, anything. I did not tell her anything, but she will not leave. Call the police. What? She is trespassing. You have already told her not to come to your apartment. She is violating that boundary. Call the police. Olivia, she is our mother. She is an adult who is harassing you for information to crash my wedding. Call the police or I will. Jessica was quiet for a moment. Then, okay, I will call them. The police showed up and asked mom to leave. She did, but not before making a scene in the hallway about how her daughters had turned against her, how she was just trying to be involved in their lives, how cruel we were being. The neighbors told Jessica afterward that it was disturbing, that they had never seen someone so convinced they were the victim while clearly being the problem. 2 days before the wedding, I got a letter at work, hand-delivered to the office. My assistant brought it to me. This was dropped off for you. No return address. I opened it. It was from Mom, Olivia. I do not understand why you are doing this. I am your mother. I gave you life. I raised you. I sacrificed everything for you. And now you are getting married and I am not even invited? I know we have had our differences. I know you were upset about the situation with Jessica, but that was almost 2 years ago. Are you really going to hold a grudge forever? I am begging you to reconsider. Let me come to your wedding. Let me be part of this special day. I promise I will not cause any problems. I just want to see my daughter get married. Please, I am your mother. I love you. Mom, I read it twice. Then I called my wedding planner. I need you to forward this letter to our security team. My mother might try to show up at the wedding. They need to know what she looks like and what her tactics are. We will handle it. She will not get within 50 feet of the venue. The letter did not make me feel guilty. It made me feel justified. She still did not understand. Still thought she was entitled to access my life. Still refused to take responsibility for what she had done. The day before the wedding, Mom made one final attempt. She showed up at my apartment building. My doorman called me at work. Miss Rivera, there is a woman here claiming to be your mother. She says she needs to deliver something to you for your wedding tomorrow. Should I let her up? Absolutely not. Tell her to leave. If she does not leave, call the police. Understood. 10 minutes later, he called back. She left, but she left an envelope at the front desk addressed to you. Do not open it. I will pick it up later. When I got home, I collected the envelope. Inside was a wedding gift card and another letter. Since you would not let me give this to you in person, I am leaving it here. I hope your wedding is beautiful. I hope you are happy. I hope one day you will forgive me for whatever you think I did wrong. I will be thinking of you tomorrow. Love, Mom. I threw the card and letter in the trash. My wedding was mine, not hers, and she was not going to ruin it. The wedding day was perfect. Beautiful venue, amazing weather, friends and family who actually respected boundaries. Marcus and I were getting ready in separate rooms of the venue. I was with my bridesmaids, Jessica included, when my wedding planner knocked on the door. Olivia, I need to speak with you privately. I stepped into the hallway. She looked tense. Your mother is here. She is outside the venue. Security stopped her at the entrance, but she is refusing to leave. My stomach dropped. What is she doing? She is crying, making a scene, saying she is being denied access to her daughter's wedding. She is attracting attention. Some guests are arriving and witnessing this. Get her off the property. Security is trying, but she is claiming she was invited, that there has been a mistake. She is asking to speak to you directly. No, I am not talking to her. Tell security to call the police if she does not leave immediately. Are you sure? It might cause more of a scene. She is already causing a scene. At least if the police remove her, it will be over. The wedding planner nodded and left. I went back to my room, trying to calm my racing heart. Jessica looked at me with concern. Was that about Mom? She is here. She is outside causing a scene. Do you want me to talk to her? No, security is handling it. If she does not leave, they are calling the police. 15 minutes later, the wedding planner returned. Your mother is being escorted off the property by police. She is not coming quietly, but she is leaving. Thank you. I am so sorry you had to deal with this on your wedding day. It is not your fault. It is hers. I pushed the incident out of my mind and focused on getting married. The ceremony was beautiful. Marcus and I exchanged vows in front of people who loved and supported us. People who understood boundaries and respect. It was perfect. Mom had not ruined it. But later that night, during the reception, I got a call from Jessica. You need to see this, she said, showing me her phone. It was a Facebook post from Mom, posted an hour earlier. Today I was forcibly removed from my own daughter's wedding by police. I was threatened, humiliated, and treated like a criminal, all because I wanted to celebrate her special day. I do not understand what I did to deserve this treatment. I tried to be a good mother. I tried to be involved in her life, but she has pushed me away completely. I am heartbroken. I am devastated. I have lost my daughter. If anyone knows Olivia, please tell her how much I love her. Tell her I am sorry for whatever I did wrong. Tell her I just wanted to be part of her life. The post had hundreds of comments. Sympathetic friends telling Mom how awful I was. How children should never treat their parents this way. How I would regret this when she was gone. Marcus looked at the post and then at me. Are you going to respond? I thought about it. About setting the record straight. About telling my side. About documenting everything Mom had done. No, I said. She wants attention. She wants me to engage. I am not giving her that. What do you want to do? I want to enjoy my wedding. And tomorrow, I want to talk to a lawyer about a restraining order because this had gone too far. The break-in, the harassment, the stalking, the scene at my wedding. It was time to make the boundaries legal. The Monday after my wedding, I met with a lawyer. Catherine Wells specialized in family law and restraining orders. I want to get a restraining order against my mother, I said. She has been harassing me for 2 years. She broke into my apartment. She stalked me. She showed up at my wedding and had to be removed by police. Do you have documentation of all this? I pulled out my folder, copies of the voicemails, screenshots of messages, the letter from my old landlord about the break-in, photos from my ring, doorbell of her repeated attempts to access my apartment, the police report from my wedding. Catherine reviewed everything carefully. This is more than enough for a temporary restraining order, possibly a permanent one. What does that mean? It means she cannot contact you in any way, cannot come within a certain distance of you, your home, your workplace. If she violates the order, she can be arrested. Will she go to jail? For violation? Possibly. Depends on the severity and the judge, but it puts legal consequences on her behavior. Right now, she thinks she can do whatever she wants because you are family. A restraining order makes it clear that family is not an excuse for harassment. Do it. Catherine filed the paperwork. The court date was set for 2 weeks later. Mom was served with the restraining order petition at her home. Jessica told me she called her immediately, furious. How could Olivia do this? A restraining order? Against her own mother? Over what? Trying to be involved in her life? Mom, you broke into her apartment. You copied her keys without permission. You showed up at her wedding after being explicitly told not to. That is not being involved. That is stalking. I am her mother. That does not give you the right to violate her boundaries. You need to accept that Olivia does not want contact with you. She will regret this. She will see how wrong she is. But at the court hearing, things went very differently than Mom expected. I brought all my documentation. Catherine presented it systematically. The break-in, the harassment, the repeated boundary violations, the wedding incident. Mom's lawyer tried to argue that this was a family dispute, that Mom was just trying to maintain a relationship with her daughter, that I was being unreasonable. The judge was not sympathetic. Miss Rivera, you broke into your daughter's apartment. You made unauthorized copies of her keys. You moved your other daughter in without permission. You have been told repeatedly to stop contacting Miss Olivia Rivera, and you have ignored those requests. You showed up at her wedding and had to be removed by police. This is textbook harassment and stalking. The fact that you are related does not give you the right to violate her privacy and safety. But I am her mother. That is not a legal defense. Restraining order granted. You are to have no contact with Miss Olivia Rivera. You cannot call, text, email, or contact her through third parties. You cannot come within 500 feet of her residence or workplace. If you violate this order, you will be arrested. Do you understand? Mom was crying. You are saying I can never see my daughter again? I am saying you cannot contact her without her consent. If she chooses to reach out to you in the future, that is her choice, but you cannot initiate contact. Do you understand? Yes. The restraining order was granted for 3 years, renewable if necessary. I walked out of that courtroom feeling something I had not felt in years, safe. Mom tried one more time. 2 weeks after the restraining order was granted, she sent a letter to my workplace, not to me directly, to my boss. I am writing to inform you that my daughter, Olivia Rivera, has falsely obtained a restraining order against me. She has made up lies about me to justify cutting me out of her life. I hope you will not hold this family situation against her professionally. She is troubled and needs help. My boss brought the letter to me. Your mother sent this. I assume there is a history here. I showed him a copy of the restraining order. She broke into my apartment 2 years ago. She has been harassing me since. I had to get a restraining order. I am sorry she contacted you. Do not apologize. This is not your fault. I will forward this to HR and legal. If she contacts the company again, we will respond appropriately. HR sent Mom a cease and desist letter. Any further contact with my workplace would result in legal action. That was the last time she tried. The restraining order worked. Mom finally understood there were consequences. Legal consequences. Criminal consequences if she violated the order. She stopped trying to find me. Stopped asking relatives about me. Stopped posting on social media about me. She finally left me alone. It has been 3 years since I got the restraining order. I am 29 now. Marcus and I have been married for 3 years. We bought a house last year, a real house with a yard and security that actually works. We are talking about having kids. I have not heard from mom since the restraining order was granted. She has respected it, or at least feared the consequences enough to leave me alone. Jessica and I have rebuilt our relationship. She is doing well. She has a good job, her own apartment with locks mom does not have copies of, and a boyfriend who treats her with respect. Do you think mom has changed? Jessica asked me over coffee last month. I do not know. Maybe, but it does not matter. The damage is done. Do you think you will ever let the restraining order expire? Ever try to rebuild? I thought about it. About the woman who stole my keys, who violated my space, who refused to respect my boundaries no matter how many times I asked, who made me hire security for my own wedding. No, I said. Some relationships cannot be repaired, and that is okay. I get it. I just feel sad sometimes. Like we should have had a normal mother. We should have, but we did not, and we cannot change that. We can only protect ourselves going forward. People ask me sometimes if I feel guilty, if I think a restraining order was too extreme, if I will regret cutting my mother out of my life permanently. The answer is no. What mom did was not one mistake. It was a pattern. Break into my apartment, harass me, stalk me, show up at my wedding, contact my workplace. Each time, she chose her wants over my boundaries. A restraining order was not punishment. It was protection. And I do not feel guilty about protecting myself. Some people think family should forgive anything. That blood is thicker than water. That mothers deserve unlimited chances. But I learned something important. Family is not an excuse for abuse. Love is not an excuse for violation. Being a parent does not give you the right to control your adult child's life. I have a good life now, a husband who respects me, a sister who learned and grew, friends who understand boundaries, a home where I feel safe. That is worth more than a relationship with someone who sees me as property to control rather than a person to respect. Mom made her choices. I made mine, and I am at peace with that. My relatives say a restraining order against my own mother was too extreme. My therapist says it was necessary for my safety and well-being. What do you think? Was I wrong to get a legal restraining order after she broke into my apartment and stalked me for years? Or did she earn every bit of those legal consequences? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments below. If you believe people should face the consequences of their actions, hit subscribe. I have got more stories of justice that will blow your mind.